Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Appropriate Audiences for the fall 2013 semester. I'm your host James Verona and I'm here joined by Matt McGroarty and Katie Rust. And today we're going to be talking about the new Richard Curtis movie About Time starring Domhnall Gleeson and Rachel McAdams. So guys, let's just jump right into this. What were your first expectations going into the movie? I'll start with you.
So I saw a trailer a couple months ago, which is what I guess happens to a lot of the movies we watch.
Yeah.
And I was super excited, and I was like, ooh, it's going to be so good. And that's my general expectation.
Okay.
See, I am very adamantly against chick flicks. I don't like very many chick flicks, even though I am a chick. But I thought it was just going to be a typical chick flick. I never even heard of it before you guys told me about it. And we're like, oh, we're going to see this one. And I was like, well, I'll see how it turns out.
All right, so going off your general expectations, which I'm gonna side a bit more with Matt here. I was excited to see it, but going off of that, what were your general thoughts? Did it live up to those expectations? Did it exceed yours? Or I'll start with you. Did it exceed your expectations?
It definitely exceeded my expectations. I was very surprised. It wasn't your typical chick flick movie. I liked it a lot.
Awesome.
I love this movie. Oh,
Yeah,
this movie so much.
yeah.
Oh, my God. I don't talk during movies,
Yes, you
but
do.
I was, like, in your ear the whole time. I do not. I really don't. It's very rare for me to talk during movies, but in this case, I was like, oh, my God.
Just
It
the
was
whole
so good.
entire movie. You were like,
It was
she's not there. If
so
she's
good.
not there, I'm gonna kill someone.
I'm
She's
getting
not there.
Hey. Don't
You were
judge.
losing it.
I was
losing it just a little bit.
And it was funny because you were both on opposite sides of my ear and just saying the completely opposite things. And I was like, what's happening right now? Okay, so I'm gonna agree. I like this movie a lot. I thought that it was really cute, but it was also more. It didn't just rely on that cuteness factor of that, he's trying to win over this girl and stuff like that. I thought that it also had a lot going for it, where it talked a lot about just like it made you think about like how you almost live your life. Like at the end where he said, "I want to live my life a little bit further than my dad did, where I would live it the way as if I could go back." As if I was going back, like live it perfectly the first time and just have no regrets. And I was like, I should start doing that. Oh gosh. Okay, so going off of this, what did you think of the premise of the movie? Because the idea of time travel has obviously been used a lot. I mean, an example that comes to my mind is, the time traveler's wife and movies like that. And it had a certain feel to it where it was like, okay, like I feel like some of these things were a bit cliche, but do you think that they went a bit further than that? Because I definitely, from my perspective, I thought that they went a bit further. And like I said, you found yourself thinking a lot. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think when you use time travel in any movie, there comes a point where it has to be simple enough for the audience to like understand and not really question it. Because like in Looper, for example, like the whole movie's based. Yeah, Looper's really good. we know. So I love that movie. Anyway, so a lot of the problem that people had with Looper, I didn't have. I love the movie. Was that they were like, it doesn't make sense, the time travel, whatever. But in this movie, it was really simple. It's just like, oh, you go back and you can change things.
Yeah.
And like that's whatever. But I think that the way they handled it was really simple and really like nice and unique. Where it was like, oh, he just kind of like does this and he goes back. Like really easy to understand, and it's not a huge like central element of the plot.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but it's not.
Yeah. I agree with you. What about you?
I thought it was like a lot of like the time travel movies that are out there, like the romantic time travel movies. But I also think that they used it in an interesting way. Like you said, it wasn't part of the main plot.
Yeah.
But it was like a main aspect, and I thought it was clever the way they did it because it was cute. You stand in the closet and then clench his fist.
I mean, they also had their own little rules to it. I mean, you can't say that it was as simple as, okay, you can. There's no limits. There were limits, which I also liked. And it also played into the ending where he finally had to say goodbye to his dad because the baby was about to be born and he couldn't go any further back than that. So I really liked that a lot.
I thought that was interesting how they added that.
When I say limits, I don't mean like. I mean like it was simple enough where the
No, I
limits
totally
made
get what you're
sense.
saying.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So going off our discussion here, we're going to get into our segment section here. So first off, as always, we have Jake Troy and Steve Boreski, and they're going to be giving us a look at the newest trailer in Hollywood. So what's on the agenda today, guys?
I'm Jake.
I'm Steve.
And this week on Trailer Talk, we're going to be talking about a little movie called The Hunger Games. Just kidding, guys. Divergent. So, Steve, based on the trailer, how do you think this movie's going to do?
It looks like a good action film based on itself.
Yeah.
But, like you said, it is very reminiscent of The Hunger Games. So whether or not it is exactly like it, or if it's something different is just wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think?
I completely agree. It's like it looks decent on its own. Like it looks good. Like it's got
Yeah.
that a good budget. You can tell like
Yeah.
everything looks like it's done
Looks
well.
done.
Yeah, but like at the same time, it's like
The plot.
so reminiscent and so like similar to that of
Yeah.
like the whole Hunger Games thing. And like I know they're probably not exactly the same, but it was something that looks so closely to that. It's like why release it now? Like
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
wait a while. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it would have been smart if they waited till Hunger Games was completely done. and
Yeah.
then maybe
Yeah.
get this like the limelight, but whatever.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't know, the whole Hunger Games, like, it's like a whole series. We all knew that this was coming. So, like, that's the thing. They knew, too, like, that they were
Right.
going to finish this. And it did so well that, they should have maybe, like, waited. And, like,
Right.
and you can tell with this one that there's going to be sequels.
Yeah,
It's another book series.
They're already lining up.
So, based on everything we've said so far, do you think that you're going to see this in the movies? Do you think you're going to wait for this maybe for like Netflix, wait for someone to put it on the internet to like totally leak it out, or are you just going to try to like avoid this at all costs?
I think maybe Netflix it,
Yeah.
give it a shot, because it does look good. And
Yeah, it
I'm
looks
a fan
decent.
and I'm a fan of Shailene Woodley, who's the
Yeah,
main
she's hot.
actress. Definitely. So, what about you?
I don't know. I like to give these movies a shot.
Right.
I do plan on seeing the Catching Fire one.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is set for next year.
So maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Give it time. Maybe I will become
Yeah.
a little more accepting. At this point, I think wait for Netflix.
Right,
In my
definitely.
opinion. Yeah. So as always, I'm Jake.
I'm Steve. Back to you guys in the studio.
Wow, another great episode. Thanks so much, guys. So let's get back into our talk about time here. So one of my final questions is, did you think that this movie should have been taken a bit more seriously? As people go into it like Katie, and people like Katie over here, they go into it and they expect sort of that cheeky romantic feel to it. But I mean, it was a more serious movie than that. Like, I have to give it credit in that, like I said, we've mentioned this before, but you really do find yourself thinking. So if you were to go, if someone were to say, oh, I don't want to see that, like, it's just a romantic comedy, would you disagree and say, like, no, there's more to it than that? Or would you be like, it's kind of cliche, but, I mean.
I'd probably tell them that it's, because when I think of romantic comedies, I think of, like, really bad movies that are specifically trying to be, like, comedy movies that have a romance in them. But, like, with this movie, it's less, like, there's funny parts, but it's not a comedy so much as it is, like, sort of, I guess, like a lighthearted drama
Like
sort of thing.
dramedy?
Yeah, a dramedy.
I was hoping you would say that word.
No, it's not a dramedy, but it's like, it's lighthearted enough where you can go in it and not get, like, sad and depressed and be like, ah. But at the same time, like, if you're going in and you want to watch, like, a somewhat serious movie, like, it's there for you if you want to take it that way.
Awesome.
See, I thought that with my expectations of the whole chick flick thing, it wasn't just your normal chick flick. They had the romance part of it, and that was definitely like a huge plot.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
But they also had other things in it, like dealing with real life things like loss and all of that, and family, and just taking care of people. And I really liked that because it was just deeper and genuine. Like a lot of chick flicks are not. But yeah, I thought it was a very genuine movie.
All right. So going off of everything that we've said here, do you have any further thoughts that you want to say, or do you think that we got it all in, or any particular scenes, moments, anything? Open game.
When I'm not going to ruin the whole thing, but basically there comes a point where he travels back in time. When he travels back to help a sister out, be really vague about it, and then he comes back to his daughter's birthday party, and the child's completely different. I was like, whoa, because you don't normally see that even in like time travel films, where like something that dramatic has changed, and it's like, whoa, man, and it just makes you like, sort of, at least makes you think like, even though bad things have happened, like your life ended up like this, and then you have to like, I think one of the themes of the movie was like, even if you could change things, like you shouldn't, because your life is a certain way, and you need to enjoy the things that life has given you so far.
Yeah, and I think that was the message that they were trying to get at the end. Blair, like I mentioned, he said, I just want to live life. Like he said, I don't go back in time that much anymore. He wants to live life in the moment and make the most out of that moment that he's given, which I thought was a very good message for them to have. How about you? Do you have any other further thoughts? Or?
Well, what I thought was cool about the movie was it had me guessing the entire time. It wasn't predictable, and you were like rooting for him the entire time. And every time he went back in time, you're like, "Uh-oh, what's gonna change now?
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen now? Like with the baby part." And I just love the message that it had. Like, it like really like makes you think: am I living my life to the fullest? Am I
Okay.
doing everything I can to like live a happy life? And like it makes a lot of sense.
I definitely agree with both of your points. So let's just get into the big question here, shall we? Okay, so big moment is, would you recommend your friends to go see this in a theater, wait for a Netflix release, or just skip it altogether, which you're not going to say, but...
See it in theater, pre-order the DVD, buy a couple posters. When it comes out on Netflix, watch it a couple times. Like, it's free, basically. I mean, it's Netflix, it's not free, but like watch it and enjoy it, because God, it is a good movie.
I don't
Alright.
think he really likes it.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't get the About Time tattoo on today. It's not my mistake.
What about you? What's your recommendation?
I would recommend it for Netflix
Mhm.
only because like people usually go to the movies. I'm sorry, but people usually go to the movies with their friends and all
Yeah.
that. Unless you're there like on a date or
Yeah.
in the mood
It's a
to
very
see
good
like
date
a
movie.
serious movie, not serious but
Yeah.
more serious, then that's for you. Then that's
Okay.
for theaters. But otherwise, Netflix.
Okay, I'm gonna side with Matt here. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say theater. I don't know. There was just something about it where I left the theater and I was really just, it had me thinking, and I was like, oh, I love it when a movie just gets you and hits those chords right in you. So I'm gonna say theater with Matt here. So what's up?
I think it's just me because I don't go see these types of movies. So,
Okay.
but that just influences my opinion.
Alrighty, well, I think that's all the time that we have here for tonight. So, like I said, that's our episode for this week. I want to thank Katie. Wow, I almost forgot your name.
Oh,
Katie
wow.
and Matt, that's your name, for joining me one more time tonight. And please don't forget to follow us on Twitter by going to @APPRO_audiences, or like us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/appropriateaudiences. Until then, that's our show for this week, and we want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time, guys.